It was a quiet evening in the suburbs, the kind of night where the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the distant hum of passing cars. Jamal, a 12-year-old boy with a kind heart and a shy smile, strolled down the sidewalk with his loyal German shepherd, Max. To most, it was just another uneventful night, but to Jamal, this walk was his time to think and bond with his best friend. What he didn't know was that someone was watching him from the shadows, plotting to disrupt his peace. A shadowy figure lingered at the corner of the street, waiting for the right moment to strike. The man had no idea that his intended target wasn't alone, and certainly didn't know that Max was far more than just a dog. Jamal was small for his age, but he had an air of quiet determination that set him apart. His best companion was Max, a sleek and powerful German shepherd with intelligent eyes and an unwavering loyalty to his young owner. The two were inseparable, often seen around the neighborhood walking side by side, their bond evident in every shared glance and playful nudge. Max wasn't just a pet, he was Jamal's protector, his confidant, and, in many ways, his hero. When Jamal struggled with bullies at school or felt overwhelmed by the world, Max was always there, offering comfort with a wagging tail and a reassuring presence. That night, Jamal had decided to take Max out for a late walk. The air was crisp, and the streets were nearly deserted, a perfect time to enjoy the peace and quiet. Jamal often used these walks to dream about his future, his steps matching the rhythm of Max's steady gait, but as they turned down a dimly lit street, Jamal noticed a subtle shift in Max's demeanor. His ears perked up, his body stiffened, and a low, almost imperceptible growl rumbled from his throat. Jamal followed Max's gaze, his heart quickening as he spotted a figure leaning against a lamppost. Just out of the light, the man stepped forward, his face obscured by the shadow of his hood. He wasn't just passing by, he was waiting. "Hey, kid," the man called out, his voice rough and unsettling. "What you got there? A fancy phone? Some cash?" Jamal froze, gripping Max's leash tighter. Max moved slightly in front of him, his muscles tensed, ready to act. The man stepped closer, his movements deliberate and menacing. His dark hoodie and jeans blended into the night, but his piercing gaze was unmistakable. Jamal's heart pounded as he instinctively took a step back, Max now fully positioned between him and the stranger. "Come on, kid," the man sneered, flashing a predatory grin. "Just hand over what you've got, and nobody gets hurt." Jamal's hands trembled as he clutched Max's leash, but his voice didn't waver. "I don't have anything," he said firmly. "Leave us alone." The man let out a dry laugh, clearly amused by Jamal's defiance. "Oh, you're a tough one, huh?" He reached into his pocket, pulling out something that glinted in the faint streetlight, a small knife. "Let's not make this harder than it has to be, kid." Jamal felt his stomach drop, but Max didn't flinch. The dog's growl grew louder, more threatening, as his sharp eyes locked onto the man. Max wasn't just alert, he was ready. "What, this mutt gonna stop me?" The man taunted, waving the knife dismissively. "He's just a dog. You better hold him back before he gets hurt." Jamal didn't reply. He didn't have to. Max took a single step forward, his growl turning into a deep, guttural bark that echoed through the empty street. The man faltered for a moment, but his arrogance quickly returned. "All right, tough guy," the man said, lunging forward slightly, testing Max's resolve. What happened next was faster than anyone could have anticipated. Max exploded into action, his powerful legs propelling him forward in a blur of motion. The man barely had time to react as Max leapt, jaws snapping onto the arm holding the knife. A startled cry escaped the man's lips as Max's strength and precision sent him stumbling backward, the knife clattering to the ground. Jamal watched in awe as Max held his ground, his teeth still locked onto the man's sleeve. The once confident thief was now panicking, struggling against the unyielding grip of the loyal dog. "Get this thing off me!" the man yelled, his voice trembling with fear. He swung his free hand wildly, trying to push Max away, but the dog wouldn't budge. Jamal found his voice, shouting, "Leave us alone, or he won't let go." The man froze, realizing he was outmatched. His bravado had vanished, replaced by a desperate plea. Okay, he stammered. "I'll leave. Just call him off." Jamal hesitated for a moment, then called out firmly, "Max, let go." With a final growl, Max released his grip and stepped back, his eyes never leaving the man. The thief clutched his arm, his face pale with fear. "Don't ever come near us again," Jamal said, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through him. The man didn't need to be told twice. He turned and ran, disappearing into the shadows as quickly as he had emerged. Jamal knelt beside Max, wrapping his arms around the dog in a grateful hug. "Good boy," he whispered, his voice filled with emotion. Max wagged his tail, his demeanor already shifting back to its usual calm and loyal self. The sound of distant sirens broke the stillness. It seemed someone had heard the commotion and called the police. Within minutes, a patrol car arrived, its lights flashing as two officers stepped out. Jamal explained what had happened, his voice steady as he recounted the details. The officers listened attentively, one of them nodding in approval as Jamal described Max's heroic actions. "You've got a brave dog there," one officer said, crouching down to pat Max on the head. "He probably saved your life tonight." Jamal smiled, his hand resting on Max's back. "He's more than a dog," he said proudly. "He's my best friend." As the officers took notes and promised to search for the suspect, Jamal felt a sense of pride and gratitude swelling in his chest. Max wasn't just a protector, he was a reminder of the unbreakable bond they shared. As the sun began to set on the quiet neighborhood, Jamal stood on the porch with Max by his side. The adrenaline from the confrontation had faded, leaving behind a wave of gratitude and pride. Max, his loyal protector, lay at his feet. His eyes alert but calm, as if he knew his job was done. For now, word of the incident spread quickly. Neighbors who had heard the commotion earlier began to stop by, their faces a mix of concern and admiration. "We saw the police take someone away," Mrs. Jenkins, the elderly woman from next door, said as she handed Jamal a warm apple pie. "Is everyone okay?" Jamal nodded, scratching Max behind the ears. "Thanks to Max, we're safe. He didn't hesitate to protect me when it mattered most." The crowd around the porch grew, and someone suggested nominating Max for a local hero award. The idea gained traction, with people recalling other times Max had been a silent guardian for the block. "This dog is more than a pet," Mr. Daniels, the retired firefighter, said with a smile. "He's family." The police stopped by later to check on Jamal and to express their gratitude for Max's role in capturing the thief. One of the officers handed Jamal a certificate of bravery for Max, promising to share the story with local media to highlight the importance of responsible pet ownership and community spirit. That night, as Jamal lay in bed, Max curled up at the foot of it. He replayed the day's events. It wasn't just about the danger they had faced, it was about the bond between him and Max, the love and loyalty that went both ways. In that moment, Jamal realized something profound: courage isn't always loud or showy. Sometimes, it's a quiet, unwavering presence that stands by you, no matter what. Max opened one eye as Jamal whispered, "You're my hero, buddy." The dog's tail wagged softly in the dim light, and with that, they both drifted into a well-earned sleep. If you were inspired by Max's bravery and the incredible bond he shares with Jamal, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. What do you think about this amazing story of loyalty and courage? Leave a comment below, we'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this story and want to see more heartwarming, suspenseful, and inspiring tales like this one, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Finally, help us share this story with the world by sharing this video with your friends and family. Let's spread a message of love, loyalty, and courage.